Stop, children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Quick, who sang that? I don't mean just me right now. I mean, who was the group that sang it? Get a cookie if you get it right without looking it up. Anyway, so I keep trying to think of like old stories to mix in with these videos. And it's like I said before, it's funny when think back that there's got to be a lot of stuff to talk about, but I can never really think of much. But something I did think of is back during my illustrious football career. And I'll be interested to know if anybody else has had experiences like this. When I played high school football, you know, I always remember, you'd come running out on the field and you'd see the people up in the stands and the band would be playing and the cheerleaders would be leading and all that. And uh, I always remember at our home games, I always remember there was an Osceola section where it seemed like a lot of the Osceola people hung out there. I remember it was like a lot of the guys who were like the next group older than me. I don't want to say a generation older, but like, the guys who maybe had all graduated 5, 10 years ahead before that. They all seemed to hang out in that one area. But anyway, what I remember is we'd come running out and you do some calisthenics, which of course I always excelled at. And but I remember one of the things I remember is we'd be there when we were getting ready, and guys would always come up and they'd be slamming on my shoulder pads and stuff like that, going, "Come on, Muck, get psyched, Muck, get psyched." And I'd be like, "Yeah, yeah, I'm psyched, I'm psyched." But whenever the game started, when I first went out on the field to play, which depending on who won the flip coin, because I only played defense, so either I'd be going out there right after the kickoff, or I'd be going out, after our team got their chance. But as soon as I walked out on the field for the first time, and this is what I meant about the other people have this same experience and things, everything else disappeared. All I remember, while I was playing then, was the guys on the field. I saw the coaches on the sideline and stuff, but it was like the fans disappeared. The noise disappeared. I wouldn't hear the band playing. I wouldn't hear people cheering or yelling or whatever they were doing. It was all just the game, or like I said, the only other voices I'd hear besides on the field would be, coach yelling something. Except I always remember there was one game, and I've actually thought of this before, and I resisted telling the story because it makes me sound too good, basically, and I don't mean it to come off that way. Um, but this is the way it happened. It was I don't remember who we were playing. I know it was a home game. I don't remember who we were playing. I don't know, what quarter it was. I'm pretty sure it was like already at least like the second quarter or so. Um, but there was this point where I was I was faked out. I was going to my left. I thought the guy was running the ball to the left. and which is what they wanted, because actually a different guy was running to my right, which would be up the middle, because I always played either left tackle or nose guard. So I went this way, and then I see here's this guy coming to my right with the ball, and I had to reach out, and it just he was at exactly arm's reach, because I remember the palm of my hand. Sorry about that. I have no idea what that might have just sounded like in the microphone. Palm of my hand hit him flat on the chest, and so he hit my arm, and sort of I bent back a little, and then and now again, I don't want to emphasize this too much. He wasn't a real big guy. Let's go ahead and make a. But basically I grabbed a hold of him, and I brought my arm forward and flung him onto the ground. And I remember watching the replay, and it did look impressive, you know. But the thing I remember about that is one of the few times I heard the people in the stands, and I know it was specifically the Osceola section. For those of you that don't know, it's a joint school district, Phillipsburg and Osceola, and there was always, the two different towns and that. But anyway, so the Osceola section, I heard just all this screaming and yelling and stuff. And so like I said, it was interesting because it's the only one I specifically remember, but I'll say it's one of the few times that when the game was on, I actually noticed anything that was happening as far as the stands and that. Like I said, I never even, I don't think I even usually would hear the band playing or anything once the game started. So yeah, be interested to know if anybody else. And I don't want to again. This sounds like I'm overemphasizing myself. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe that's the way the pros are all the time, But yeah, it was just there's been a few other times in my life where I've had that sort of thing in specific instances. And I remember one time was a game of chess. A little bit different than playing football. But, I used to be okay at chess. I've been trying to play online lately, and boy, I screw up a lot. But I might have mentioned before, though, it's kind of like with the school. I never took games real serious. I like to play, I like to win, but I never really studied games because I think that kind of defeats the purpose of it being a game, Yeah, I'm looking at myself, there's wild hairs down there. Anyway, but one time, there was this one guy in college that he was definitely a better chess player than me. In fact, I know another time this happened, and it was another time in college, but it was ping pong. But it's like the same basic story, so I'll just continue with it with chess. The guy was definitely better than me, but he was a big trash talker, I am going to kick your ass and all that. And I just remember sitting there, and this would be the only time in my life that this happened with chess. And again, it happened the one time with a ping pong game with the same kind of situation. But Again, total concentration. The rest of the room disappeared. I know there were other guys there watching us play, but it was me and him and that black and white board. And, and it was like, I don't know. I swear I could have given Bobby Fischer a game that day. I wouldn't have beat him. I'm saying I might have hung in there for more than 10 moves. But anyway, I just I beat the guy, and it definitely shut him up. In fact, I just remember he kept talking about because there was a group of we played for fun, He kept talking about he had been the president of his chess club in high school, and you know I'm rated 8,000,005 or whatever, But yeah, so yeah, if you've had experiences like that, I I keep saying comment, but very few of you do. But yeah, I'd be interested to know. I'll mention briefly a couple other times I've had that experience, but it wasn't as good. It had to do with violence. Um, I might have mentioned recently, or maybe I was talking to someone else, where I know what tunnel vision is because a few times people have made me mad enough that everything disappeared except for that person that is lucky they left alive. Anyway, we'll stick with the football game. Yeah. See, it's an interesting thing. It's like I said, I'll bet you the people who, the pros, the people who really excel at things, they probably can do it all the time. With me, I can't really click it on and off at will, you know, except for, high school football. It seemed to work every game, but mostly in life, I just, as as we say in the old country, CBA, can't be arsed. Um, anyway, let me know what you think. Uh, let me know if it's happened to you, and I'll tell you one other thing that's kind of related. I hadn't thought of before, and I'll bet you I know people here that definitely this happened to it, but it's reading a book. I definitely have had a lot of occasions where when I've read a book, the whole world disappears. And I'm pointing at you, Courtney. I'm willing to bet $3.86 that you know what that's like, as well as some others here. So, hey, folks, peace out, huh?